Hello, dear followers. Welcome to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to be notified of new videos. At the end of the 5th episode, an unseen but deeply felt earthquake occurred between Doa and Yama. Uncle Nazmi's diabetic coma, the hospital rush, the forced night spent together, and Doa falling asleep in Yaman's arms in the early morning. All these events created an electrically charged atmosphere where two opposite poles collided. But the real storm is just beginning. Doa, remembering that Yaman was the young man she humiliated during his job interview, Mr. Nazmi's mysterious warning about Hulusi, and Murt's obsessive surveillance are three major turning points that will form the main axis of the upcoming episode. When Doa, while searching for her dog, saw the coat Yaman wore to his job interview while eating in front of his house, she felt as if she had been struck by lightning. Her eyes were fixed on the coat, and her hands began to tremble. At that moment, a light bulb went off in her head, and she remembered the coat. A wave of indescribable shame surged through her as she recalled how she had looked down on the young man during the job interview, how she had spoken condescendingly, and how she had practically crushed him. Her face turned deathly pale, and her breathing quickened. Despite all this humiliation, Yaman had helped her, supported her regarding Uncle Nazmi, and even opened his home to her. Moreover, Doa had violated Yaman's privacy by rummaging through his room. When Doa learned this truth, she would initially be shocked and avoid Yaman. She wouldn't dare confront him, averting her eyes at every encounter. However, her sense of justice and conscience would compel her to act. Early one morning, she would go to Yaman's house, knock on his door, and prepare him an apology breakfast. She would confess to Yaman that she was the person from the job interview and apologize for what she had said. Yaman, with his usual composure, would tell her that he didn't judge people by their past mistakes and would reassure Doa. This conversation will melt a large part of the iceberg between them, multiplying Doa's admiration and respect for Yaman. She will no longer see Yaman as merely an annoying person. She will begin to recognize him as a dignified, mature, and virtuous man. Nazmi B's warning to Yaman, "Watch out for Hulusi," is a harbinger of a dark secret from the past. Nazmi Bey knows that years ago, when they made a joint water supply agreement, he allowed Hulusi to water his fields excessively, even drying up his own land to save Hulusi. However, Hulusi has never forgotten this favor, because Nazmi Bey's action ruined a secret export deal Hulusi was involved in at the time. Hulusi attributed the incident to Nazmi Bey's jealousy and has harbored resentment for years. Now Hulusi, in collaboration with Mert, plans to take over Nazmi Bey and the farm. Mert, who had the water pump dismantled, was actually acting on Hulusi's instructions. His aim was to put Nazmi Bey's farm in a difficult position and buy it at a reasonable price. However, Yaman's intervention disrupted this plan. Nazmi Bey is now reminding Yaman of this dangerous game. When Yaman hears this warning, Doa comes to mind. If Hulusi and Mert are working together, Doa is also their target. He feels he must protect her. This thought awakens a sense of possessiveness he had never felt before. The night Doa and Yaman are forced to share a bed becomes a turning point in both their lives. The brief moment they share when they wake up in the morning is actually an indication of how deep their bond has become. That night, Doa slept hugging Yaman in her sleepiness. Her arms were wrapped around his chest, her face resting on his shoulder. This is the clearest message her subconscious is sending her. I am safe with this man. When Yaman wakes up in the morning, he sees Doa grabbing his throat and feels his breath catch in his throat. The woman who touched him revealed the fragility behind his tough exterior. In upcoming episodes, when Yaman learns that Doa is being harassed by Mert, he will confront Mert and threaten him to stay away from Doa. This will take Doa's trust in Yaman to its peak. When the Doa learns that Yaman is actually the son of a wealthy, abandoned family in Istanbul, and that his family lost everything due to bankruptcy, her admiration and pity for him will transform into a deep love. Yaman's unwavering dignity even during these difficult times will completely win Doa's heart. Mert's attempt to discredit Yaman by giving the drone footage to Hulusi will, on the contrary, cause Doa to stand by Yaman and renew her faith in him. This emotional earthquake that begins between Doa and Yaman from the 6th episode onwards will inevitably turn into a great love in the following episodes. However, this love will not be an easy journey. It will begin as a friendship. Doa will try to find Yaman a job to repay his debt and fully apologize, and they will spend time together. During this process, they will get to know each other better. Then, a period of jealousy and conflict will ensue. A surprise from Doa's past or the presence of another woman interested in Yaman will ignite the volcano within both of them. Although they will struggle to recognize these feelings, they will have reached a point of no return. When Hulusi and Mert's plans reach their climax, Yaman and Doa will be forced to act together, and in this moment of great danger, Yaman will risk his life to save Doa. At that moment, Doa will realize that she loves this man. When all obstacles are overcome, Doa and Yaman will confess their love for each other under the rain or at sunset. Yaman will tell Doa that he hated her during their first job interview, but now he cannot live without her. Doa, in tears, will confess that she loves him, wishing she had realized it sooner. And so, a story that begins with an insult at a job interview, culminating in a midnight embrace amidst water disputes at Uncle Nazmi's farm, will transform into one of the unforgettable great love stories of Turkish dramas. Because the most beautiful loves are forged through the most difficult paths. And Doa and Yaman found each other on this path. For now, we have come to the end of another analysis. You can share your valuable opinions in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more videos. See you in the next video. Take care. Goodbye.